So what we have here, folks, is inside of a video store. And you can see the date, December 21st, 1991. This is the oldest footage that I have. I have over 1,000 hours of footage from a mom and pop video store. I wonder who this guy is, huh? It looks a little bit familiar. Yes, it's me. This is the oldest, like I said, footage that I have of myself. I've done a lot of footage after that, up to 2005. So you can see how it was back in the day when I was the manager then. It came out pretty good. Merry Christmas from USA Video, and have a healthy and prosperous New Year. That's pretty much what I said. Now, still December 25th, 1991. Boy, am I glad I put the date. I have a lot of footage that I might have wrote the date, on the tape or something, but this is good because I had put it on the display. So this is a sample of over 1,000 hours worth of footage that I have. I'm looking for someone that might be wanting to do a documentary. I just picked this footage now so I could talk over it. But that store is not there anymore. That's been gone since 2001. That's when they tore that whole block down where it was, so we had to move. I found a little store in the neighborhood for a while. I have footage of that too, so it may be, you figure, 6 hours on the tape into 1,000 hours, approximate. I probably have more than that because I have other tapes, with different things on it. So a lot of it is Christmas time. That's the only reason I have a lot of this footage. And because at Christmas time I used to record it because it's good to look at it, later on to see what I did. But the camera I'm using here is a camcorder, a big one. It took the VHS tape, the size of one of those tapes. And that's how I made this footage. Then, when I started doing this is I was working there already about a few years, when I did this. Because remember, it's a video store, so it would make sense I would have video footage. We had video surveillance. We even rented those video cameras. We had VCR repair. There's so many things that I could come up with, but to see some footage from that far, from that long ago, because most of your video stores are closed down. That's the footage that you see. If you look it up, like a day or so before they close down, it's on the news. Another location closed down. They go there, they interview the manager and the employees and customers about the store closing down. In this particular footage here, I just was going through the footage that I have. But this footage I had put on DVD. And now I'm playing it now, and I'm playing it on a DVD player that has a screen, and I'm copying it onto the front camera of my tablet. That's why it wouldn't come out as good. So it's much better. The quality's better right direct, from the tape to the DVD. See, this went from the tape right to the computer, but it's not. So it comes out all right. The sound is okay. It's that the video footage is like, it seems like it's slower, And if I'm moving the camera around there, it doesn't pick it up. It's like a different speed, a little different, but that's nothing. All the tapes that I have, they're dated. Anybody would take the tapes and get a VHS player. You just play them and you get a device. You go through the device, then you go into the computer. And you can make computer files of all this. Someone wants to do that, you're welcome to it. I'll give you all the tapes. I'm really looking for someone that either, maybe a company, might want to get all this footage. It would take time to go through it. I just picked this footage because I already had it. And this is of the big store where we were. Boy, it was a big store. At one point, the front of the store there, because with the windows and all, thinking of renting it out to another company. Gonna make some extra money for the store, but we ended up having to move, so that never happened. We had a company that want to do cell phones. That'd be a perfect place. With the front windows and all, we had a lot of business. It would bring business for us too. Well, that never happened. So, but you can see the size of the store. That's why when I did this, I wanted to show it. We had TVs all over. I'll say a lot. You know, the old TVs. You know, the old ones, the heavy ones. I should say compared to now. But you can see how this was. The shelves were set up alphabetical. Now we had the box on the shelf. Most of the stores had the tape either in the box or behind the box. But we didn't do it that way. It was easy for them because if the tape was behind the box, all they did when someone brought up the tape, then the box was still on the shelf and they didn't have to fix the shelves. But we get a lot of rentals. We had to keep fixing the shelf, you know, shifting the shelves to make it look full, you know. Yeah, you can see we had the chaser lights. They lasted a while. And the windows, see how many windows? It shows you right there, 3 front windows. This was a great location for a video store. Because I know what was in this store before we got it. It was a paint store. And they weren't doing no business because most people weren't painting then that much. You know, all the home supplies for that and all. You know, we got the store. It's a good location too. Right in the neighborhood there. We didn't have parking. Yeah, we did have parking. That's right. We had parking in the rear there. This was another company, but they let our customers park there because I gave them an account so they could rent. So I was paying them in a sense. All they had to do is bring the movies back, and it's like a house account. So they let us use the parking lot. That was fine. I was glad for that because kind of double park out there and all in the street. It wasn't good. So this footage I picked because it's the oldest footage, how it looked then, you know. Yeah, there's stand-ups we had. They used to send it for all the movies. In this case, that stand-up there, it was a Christmas tree. I put lights on it. You can see it better now. It's just the way I did. That was like changing the window all the time. Of course, Christmas time, but other times too during the year. Different posters, different stand-ups will come in, you know, and I would keep updating everything all the time. Now you see, okay, that so happens that was my car out there. Now this is outside. You see how it looks? No, it's not going to look as good because of this, you know, copying on the front camera of the computer, but you could still see it. That's why I decided to do the narration because I have music and everything, but it's better this way because then I notice every time I do that, the music seems too loud and you don't really hear me. So maybe you'd rather hear the music than me. I don't know that, but I am looking for someone that might want to do a documentary on the video store. This is a mom and pop video store. Back in the day, you can see I mostly put this footage because it is from 1991. But I got footage from the 90s, 2000s, you know, all the way up to 2000 and I think 2005. Because this one, we were one of the last stores that closed down. Stores kept closing down. Because once we downsized to a smaller store, I was able to stay in business a while because of that. Because there was a big difference in, you know, the overhead and all. I could work it by myself and all, where we didn't have all those employees. You know, and plus DVDs had come out then. That helped. There we go. Yes, it's me. Yep, I should. This footage here, I'm glad I still have it because, of course, I look a little different than that. You've probably seen some of my videos, so this was back in the day. And I had the camera sitting there. Now, 1991, I'm doing these videos. It's like a selfie in a way before the phones. Now, what do I say there? Merry Christmas from USA Video. Have a healthy and prosperous New Year. Thank you. That's pretty much what I said. I actually have the actual audio. See, this I took it off for now because I'm not talking over it. It's easier that way. So if you listen to this, you'll have an idea. Now everybody's home more now, and maybe with nothing to do, someone might be interested in taking the footage I have and try to make a documentary. You could put it on on YouTube, you can maybe get somebody. Because exclusive rights, this is something that nobody has. Definitely doesn't have this footage. I mean, I've posted it already, a lot of it, to show, you know. Here I decided I'm going to see how much I have on this disc. Because I'll try to talk over it. But see, that particular store was nice with the sign and everything we had. It showed up. It was on a big street. Oh, it was a great location there. And that's because this is back, well, it was open before this. It was back in the late 80s. That's when everything was booming, you know, with the video store business. And there was a few stores, small ones, mostly just on the Pennsylvania, New Jersey area. And this was the biggest one. But doesn't mean because it was big. You can see, you know, when you have all these tapes. See, I had recorded it on tapes then, you know, VCRs. DVDs weren't out then. They came out with a lot of things then. They started with the video discs. They were big, and that didn't last. In this case, you can see this was pretty good with the camera that I had. You know, it's a big one. It worked all right. Huh? And there I'm out there walking around. I don't know how good this is going to come out. Because I've done this a few times. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. You know, I think, yeah. At least the narration, you're going to hear that. As far as the way I have this set up. I don't know how it's going to look. It doesn't look too good now that when I'm doing it, I can see it. Doesn't look that great, but sometimes when I play it back, it looks better. As long as it's like the way I have it set up like that. You can see in the window, that's what's nice having a window like that with all the stuff in the window. Wow, it was good. I mean, for the video store because of that. Putting posters and all, lights and all kind of things. We have payphones out there. If you can see it to the left. Right there on the left, there was one on, I think I have one on each side. We got money from that too. Oh yeah, I'm the show off, huh? Just think, all that time now, from 91 till now, to 2020, huh? And I'm still doing video again. There it is. Of course, this, when I recorded this is at night after the store's closed. I didn't have too much problem, you know, with this being going in and out of there like that. I don't think I would do it now. But then, you know, it was a quiet neighborhood. But now, any neighborhood can be a problem nowadays. You know that on the news. I didn't even know. I used to do that a lot. I knew everybody. That doesn't mean that somebody sees me there. The store is open there. Nobody's around. Got all the movies in there and all. Anybody could have they could have pushed me right in. I guess you would call it jack a fool, huh? Well, nothing happened. I mean, I took all the time you see that I'm doing this. That's how long I had it like that. But I done it with the other store too. The people in the neighborhood, like a couple of people tell me, don't worry, Frank. I see you doing that all the time. I keep an eye on you. So I kind of knew I had some people that cared, you know? Like even here, there's people live across the street and all. They saw me doing it because they know the store's lit up. It wouldn't be lit up now. You see how I have it lit there? It wouldn't be like that if it's closed. They know at 1 o'clock in the morning whenever I was doing this. They were nice. I said, I appreciate it, you know, because I was trying to do this because I wanted to look at it, you know. I don't know. I was playing it in the store, but nobody paid that much attention. I guess I did it because of the camcorder. I wanted to make sure I knew how to work it. So we were renting it. I think we rented it for like, it was $39.95. But we gave them a couple days or something. I didn't, you know, worry too much about it. They had to give a deposit and all. Yeah, people did rent it for the weddings and all. You know, back in the day, people didn't want to buy them. They're expensive then. Camcorders and VCRs and all that stuff was expensive in the beginning. But it all, you know, it all came down. So that was one of the things that I remember that we did. Oh, we had a lot of things. The video store was doing things all the time, you know, to try to make extra money. We had a company for the VCR repairs and all. They didn't charge. It was a free estimate. You just leave it there. I give him a slip. Guy would take it back to the shop and go over it, and if he wanted to have it done, he would call. If not, well, next time he came in, he'd bring it back. There was no problem. He didn't make a special trip or nothing. He did the TVs and all. A lot of people did it because they didn't want to be bothered. They wanted, I used to tell a lot of people, you should keep your VCR clean. I mean, there's head cleaners and all that, but when you get a tune-up, you'll check the belts and everything else. So you'd be surprised how many people did it. See, we had a matinee special there. They would rent the movies, like when I open and get them back before 5. It's like, I think it was 99 cents or something. A lot of people did it that might be home in the daytime. I know one guy was taking the movies and he was taking them home and copying and bringing them back, And you can see, that's the trouble with a camera like that. It's blurry, the focus is not always that good, Sometimes you have to focus it yourself. Like, see right there, it's not too clear. Because that's why. And I'm seeing it too while I'm recording. Sometimes I have to keep parking in rear. People, people liked it. I mean, they'd be surprised. A lot of people told me, speaking of parking out there, but they even though a lot of people said, well, walk there to the store, I'm looking this is from inside the store. I'm looking from inside out. That was Demi Moore. She didn't have more, she had less on there. I think the movie was Striptease. Popular movie, you'd be surprised. See, in those days, it was new, renting movies was new then. People were just getting VCRs and all, and they wanted the movies to play, And TVs were still pretty big then and heavy, Yeah, that's a St. Nick. Yeah, this doesn't look too clear here. That's because of the focus of the camera. There we go. I didn't do it. I did it then. So the size of the store. See, it could have been changed around different. Those islands could have been turned vertically. See how they're angled like that? They could have been turned the other way, like back there. But because we couldn't keep an eye on it in the front that way, if it was turned, everybody could be in the aisles doing anything. You wouldn't be able to really see it unless you have a camera. See here, you could see it that way. See how the shelves are that way? You could see it. Look at that. Blurry. But all the footage is not like this. This footage I picked because it shows so much inside, And all the shelving. I went through the whole store to show it, how big it is. TVs, I had a few TVs. They were heavy. They worked all right. I would have loved to have the TVs we have now. The flat screens and all would have been nice. But it was all right, though. People I would play previews on there, and be surprised how many people would rent the movies. I'd play old movies, too, and they would rent them where they normally wouldn't have. Put all the posters there, and I don't know if you can see me in the mirror there. You can probably see me. Let's see, I don't know if it'll show up. I'm like on the left. That was on the left there. Yeah, this is the way it was. All the copies right there. A lot of copies of some movies. I mean, we went 20 copies. It wasn't unusual. See with tapes? See what happened? It's a problem with tapes. You get a crinkle or something like that. But this is put it on DVD. I couldn't put all that footage. It would take me forever. Now I can, at least I did some of it. See, we had games there and all. Crane machine, pinball machine, video games, so much. Could have had a lot more than that. There was plenty of room, but gumball machine, stickers, everything you could think of. And that was our holiday hours, with these people. Tell them you get a free day, right? They thought that when they brought it back, it was going to be free. Another half-price special. That was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You could rent the movies overnight. You have to rent 2, and they would be half price. As far as that holiday special, You tell them a free day, right? Okay, so they're closed, so they pay for 1 day instead of 2, but they said free. They thought they'd have to pay anything. I said, how much sense would that make? That we're just giving you movies for free then? So you're getting it for 2 days, but you're only paying for one. Those people understood it. I was specific, though. When I rent, I said, you're not paying. You're paying for this day, you're paying for the next day, no, and then you bring it back. You're paying for 1 day. Of course, there was some problems. And when the more busier that we were, the more people have, more problems with those kind of things. But since I was there all the time, I made sure that the people understood that. I mean, when I would rent the movies, and I would tell the clerks there, make sure you tell these people that it's not a free rental, that when they bring it back, they think they don't have to pay. And when a guy come in, it was like after the holiday, he said, he drops the tape. I said, it's $3. He said, no, it's free. I said, no, it's not free, it's $3. You're not going to give me too much of a problem because, I can say, fine, you brought the movie back, and you owe $3. See, there we go, 1996. I have different footage. I mean, again, I have some years when I was doing this. It just so happens I did put the date on sometimes. But on the tapes I did write it on there. You could tell by the movie posters and things the date of some of the, the footage. Someone wanted to do this. I'm just showing you. I'm here looking at it and I'm talking over it. But again, I know about what happened. Look, 1997 now. I just must have put different footage on the DVD at the time. Now I'm looking at it now. If I haven't it marked, I wouldn't have been able to tell too much there. Exactly, just look at by the poster, yeah. You knew when those movies came out, you would know. It was a nice store, I'll tell you. And then we had the gate that came down, so it was pretty safe as far as an alarm system back in the day. I don't know how this is going to show up. I know the audio I'm doing is going to show up. Here's a fireplace in the window with a TV. And then here's the entrance. You see, there's the date. This was Christmas Eve after closing. I did this. It's just a matter of walking around with the camera. I had narration. Then I don't know if that camera. Sometimes that camera, the sound didn't work on it. It depends. The only problem with that is it had a battery. I used to run electric cord because the battery, I didn't want it cutting out while I'm doing all this. Yeah, I was doing like back in the day. Now I'm still doing this video, of this. Yeah, it so happens I'm still into it, right now, because I said I'm looking for someone who would like to partner with me. I mean, it's not a big thing. It's nothing difficult. If someone wants just to buy, just give me a price for all the tapes, and I'll give you exclusive rights. That means I get nothing other than what you paid me, There's other deals we can make. It's not, someone wants to know VHS tapes, and it's a mom and pop video store. There's not too many video documentaries that's on video stores. Not like this. I mean, there's a lot of different footage you can do. Like, you could take the footage here with like only the Christmas that I have. From both stores I have Christmas. You can see Christmas right here from the big store. And you can put music, and somebody can do a narration, a script could be made. There's enough footage to make at least one documentary. You could probably do more. Because one could be just at Christmas time at the video store. One could be mom and pop video store. And another one could just be both stores together. Could be a lot could be done. And this is outside, dark. I mean, I'm walking around there. I don't know if it's going to even show up. The video store shows up because of all the lights. You had 2 TVs in the window. At that time, too. Got it all hooked up. It wasn't hard to hook up the TVs, because I could have just had the VCR right there in the window. But all I did was run the cable up in the ceiling with a drop ceiling back of the counter. So whatever I played, I could have it play the same thing in the store. I could have a switch, and switch something different for the window, and I had it all. That was no problem for me, because I know how to do all that stuff. But there, speaking of me, huh? I'm usually around there somewhere. Now, yeah, I did pretty good there. I kept a good eye on the store. I was there all the time. Boy, you can see. Look at this. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. See? Well, that's to say, I think I had the actual sound, but I still have it. I just I took it off. What I did was plugged in maybe a microphone or a music track, and then put that into a box and then switch it back and forth. Like one would be the sound on the tape, and one would be a music, or one would be a narration like I'm doing now. Yeah, this I'm doing, I want you to see how much footage. I'm trying to do this. Because I put a lot of times in the description, but then to read a description when I can tell you better in my own words while you're looking at the footage. So again, if anybody's looking at this and think maybe, look at that. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! That's pretty much what I said. But I was doing that a lot, because I don't know why. That's how come I got this footage, because I guess after hours, I mostly wanted to, work that camcorder, see how it worked. You can see the footage is okay. It's not like today with all the digital and all the way it is. It's a lot, with all the different effects and all. This, not too much. It had zoom and all that, but not really. I had this camcorder sitting there. I think I had the cords running out there. I don't know if you could see it. Gotta be careful there doing that. There we go. I'm making my tour. Yeah, I set it up that way. I played it in the video store, not that much. Some of these tapes I never even played them. I may have looked at them and sometimes recorded over them, but I think 1 month in 1997, I think I almost have the whole month. We're open like it's 12 hours or something. And I would have 6 hours on one tape and 6 on another. So that means I would have 60 tapes for that 1 month. I don't know why I kept them. So I was doing it for surveillance, inside the store. And that's 97. Speaking of 97, there we go. This is why I put this footage. I have a lot of footage from the other store. Both stores, but since this was the older store, Yeah, I was doing, like I said, a lot there with the video. And you can see, like there, I paused it. Like right now, I could just go on to another scene, but I won't do that. Someone's, at home now. Like I said, a lot of people are home now, finding things to do. If you think you're going to be home a while, why not contact me somehow and we'll work it out. Now, I have a lot of footage posted already. You might be able to take that footage. Maybe you could get someone. You make a deal with somebody that's interested in doing the documentary. Of course, you're going to become a partner with me and everything 50-50. Of course, I'm not paying you, but I'm giving you an opportunity to make some money. You can see there now, that sign said all movies are displayed in categories in an alphabetical order for your easy selection. If you don't see a movie you're looking for, ask for assistance. Once you have made your selections, bring the movie boxes to the counter. Yeah, so again, someone out there that's going to look at this, hopefully listen to me. I'm going to put it, when I post it, I'll mention something about it. See, now you'll see me there in the mirror. There we go. I don't know if it's going to show up here. It might not, because I'm looking at it while I'm recording it, but it doesn't look Great. You can see my face on the left there where the V is. You probably can see it. So that proves I recorded it. And there I just pushed the date on the screen. So you can see all that. Yeah, yes, it's me. Yeah, I've been working on a lot of things. I've been keeping busy because I was staying in a lot anyway. Because of my situation and all. So I'm working on this. Back on this again. See how blurry? I don't like that, but that's the camera. But again, the amount of footage I have, well, you could use, like, if you go into look up my name, Frank Leeper, on YouTube, I have a lot of other footage that you could look at. I was saying, oh yes, remember I was telling you about what you could do. You could do it on snowstorms, because the video store was always busy when it snowed then. So I have some snowstorm footage, even though what's one snowstorm from another, but still, you could show it because that was pertinent to the video store business then. Whenever it got bad storms like that, snowstorms, and people would go to the video store, the hardware store, and the supermarket. If they think they're going to stay in and never get out again, I guess. We used to do a lot of business. Even the small store I had, 3 times as much business. Because of that, people were going to stay in and they were going to hunker down. And that's what people used to do then, but now it's different. Now people are stuck in because of this coronavirus, but so I decided to do this. Maybe someone after you have more time now can look at this. If someone's interested, just contact me. You can contact me through YouTube or Twitter. My name. Let's see that. See that now? See how it got a little blurry? But then I'll back it up. I didn't move. I'm standing there. It does have a focus thing. I can bring it in. Yeah, that was the stand-up they gave us. The movie companies gave a lot of stuff. Stand-ups and posters and all. They knew it was going to make sales of the movies and rentals. There's the Blues Brothers. We had that poster from one of the companies for a while. I think when the newer one came out, and we put it there, we kept that. It became part of the store at the time because that's a stock film. Look at those shelves. Look at all those movies. Any section could be changed. If one section was too much, all I did was take everything off and just change the sign. It could be done because there was a lot of extra shelving. See, that shelving wasn't, with pegboard or nothing. All it was, when they built those islands, was they built a frame by 2x4s, and then they put the plywood, 4x8 plywood, and then put 2x4s for the shelves, and paint it. It wasn't that difficult to make. But they were anchored to the ground, though. It's hard to move them around. It just didn't, they weren't made to move, but it could be done. It was, well, plenty. When you have that much room, you can have so much stuff in there. And people could look in and all the windows, and you can see shelves everywhere. Yeah? There's another one of those islands. This side of the island had the movies, and the other side was facing the window, where we put posters or whatever on it. It's a lot there, you can see. And just the movies that you see there tells you what year. See, that dates it. It doesn't like say, well, Frank, you filmed that more recently than, I don't know. That I can prove, because the poster couldn't be there if it didn't come out yet. So I know that this footage is, authentic. It's not something that you can make up. See all the copies there of the movies. We had all the new ones up in front. We changed that around a lot because I thought, I said, well, why don't we put the newer ones in the back? So that makes people go through the store. Maybe they'll rent something else. See, that right there. That was the thing you do with Tom Hanks. It was a stand-up, but I put it on the wall instead. Look at this video game, a driving game. Look at that. People like that. I think it was 50 cents. A lot of times when people are playing, I have to tell people, play it once, let everybody have a chance, you know? That was a big thing, that driving game. That's why I showed it here, you know, to show you that was one of the, it was a nice thing. If you think back in 1990s and have a game like this that you could sit down and steer and everything, and you know, actually go on the, like you were on the highway. And people said they learned how to drive doing that. I said I wouldn't depend on that. You know, take your driving lessons if you don't know how, or well, you're not going to drive like that. You know, you're driving here in the game, and you say to yourself, you get outside and you're going to drive like that. Yeah, it was pretty good. Now you can see, you know, there. Oh, here I go. Fixing up the shelves, huh? How you doing out there, folks? We have a matinee special every day. Rent a movie when we open and bring it back before 5, and it's half price. That's what I'm saying there. So keep that in mind. And we're open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you. I wish everybody happy holidays, and I'll see you at the movies. I went over a lot more than that even, but I don't know exactly. See? Yeah, that's to say that I did that a lot, talking on the camera. Sometimes it didn't come out too good because the sound, you know, the sound would be lower than something else if I put music. See, this way it doesn't matter because I'm doing the narration now over it. And look at that same tree we had all the years. Actually, that tree, I had it outside on the small store. Didn't seem to hurt it or nothing, you know. You can see it. Like I said, look at that. It looks good. It's full. Yeah. Oh, see, this is... Yes, it's me again, huh? I'll put the camera anywhere, you know. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! And I'll see you at the movies. I got to get back to work here. I'm going to trim this tree so we'll be all ready for Christmas. Again, I want to thank you for your support. Something like that. I have said a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of times I would say, you know, about the specials we had and all. See, I would play that in the store, but most people didn't pay attention. People tell me, oh, we don't want to see that. We can see it live, the store. Why would I want to see the store when I can just see it anyway? I said, yeah, I know. A lot of people wasn't too much for it because now you look at it. Yeah, it's different now to look at it. But then, that's why I would put like those things, you know, about the specials and all the hours and all. But it wasn't, I didn't play it too much. I said they'd rather see previews. If I play movies, people would stay in the store, but they weren't going to stay and look at the whole movie. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Yeah, I play a lot of the stuff I'll repeat it, but with the amount of footage I have so much footage that it's on all those VHS tapes, most of it. I have it, like I said, on DVD, and I can do this. Someone that's a techie could take that footage, and it is dated. The date could be the file number. But you know, if it's 6 hours, I don't know if you can, if there's a speed recording or something, I don't know for sure about that. Just get a VHS player. You still can get them. It doesn't have to be the VCR. It can be a player. And you get the device, and you hook it up to that device, and I think it filters it and everything, and then out from the device it goes into the computer. But again, if it's 6 hours on a tape, well, you figure how many tapes. Over 30 tapes. How you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays! Yeah, so there's like, I don't know how many tapes. More than that. I have much more, so I say 1,000 hours. If there's 6 hours on a tape, you figure it out. I got 50, 60 tapes. I got more than that. I never even really counted them. Of course, if anybody's interested, I'll give you all the tapes. I don't care about that. if someone out there can make a deal with somebody that maybe they'll do the documentary and they give a cash advance and we could split that and we'll give them the rights, and then if whatever royalties we could split it somehow. It's not a I don't know, probably the better deal would be if you find a buyer that wants to buy this footage and all to make, a documentary and all about the mom and pop video store, then it's all theirs, whatever they do. Nowadays it could be Netflix, it could be any of these companies. Because these stores are all closed down now, so there's nobody that's going to say anything about it. Plus I have the footage, it belongs to me. I recorded it and I worked there. Again, you can see me in the mirror there. I call that picture in the picture. See it right where the V is? Yes, it's me. Yes, so if anybody out there is interested, that's why I'm doing this. Contact me. It's a shame that I think it can be done. All you have to do is, like I said, you can put music. It depends how it's put together. I mean, I'm only just picking a portion of it, like to go through all the tapes and pick out what you want to put into the documentary. That's what I say about putting it in the computer, because they're all dated. The file can be the date that you can look it up once it's in the computer. You punch it up and you look at it, and you could take. It can be done on the computer, the documentary. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a techie, but anybody that's pretty good with computers and all could do something with it. They can take and do it that way. You can view it, you can save it, then you could add music. It can be all done. Just have to be creative and come up with it. Documentaries, they're an hour. Maybe you might get a sponsor that might want to do it just so they can put their commercials in there. If it's on the regular network TV. But again, I just say it could be done. I don't know how, I can do this. I have the footage. I mean, it's not like you have to make up the footage. I have it already. I think it just has to be gone through. You kind of make a script. And there's enough to show outside, inside. I got all the counter transactions, with the customers and the employees, and I think I have it on here, but I have so much footage of that inside this particular store, a lot. Customers, and plus nobody had a cell phone. Back in the day, that was one of the things. Now I have this. I paused this. It really doesn't matter because I'm talking over it. The only reason I paused this was because that picture in the picture there. I'm not going to touch it because it's going to change anyway. But again, I'm doing all this. I've been doing it for a while. On social media with all this about this video store documentary. So far I haven't got too much interest. You probably said, well, why do I want to do a documentary when you can just look at it on YouTube? It's true, but it's not. It's just random like it is, It's not the same. Like if someone wants to research it out and do the history of the video store business and all. Mom and pop video store compared to the big change, Okay, now I'm back outside there to show you at night. Look at that. I'm out there at night. Across the street was a restaurant over there. That was good to have. And people get some food and then get the movies. And we sold snacks and all too. So it's a lot of things. I mean, to go through it, somebody have to actually, like I said, research the video store business. But in the beginning, look at that. There's that was a bar across the street. And you research it out and you could come up with somebody could do the script. And with all the footage I have, well, look at that, 1999. Of course, you wouldn't know looking at it, but again, that wasn't there. It's not there now. It wasn't 1999. In 2001, the store was gone. So only really a couple of years from this. Look at a payphone, 25 cents. Now that's pretty much gone. You see that? Yeah, that's the way it was. It's not, it definitely cannot be done again because that building's not there. There's townhouses there now. In 2001, that was it. We was in another location. You can see how that was. It's like, it's a piece of history. I mean, you figure if this is 1999, that's already over 20 years ago. Look at that. There's I think it's CVS there. It just moved in there. That's when they were going to tear down everything there. So, yeah. Kind of glad I recorded. At the time, I didn't realize it. Look, at least I have the date on there. Most of it I do. Otherwise, I dated it. But again, you can't say it's not real because the posters tell you. I'm not going to be able to recreate this. It could be done. I mean, you could get a store, you know, but you'd have to get all the old computers. You'd have to try to make it look like this, which is an example. You know, you could put this. It could be done. It could be made. You know, recreate it. Well, but you have this footage. You could do a lot. You know, I was thinking of a lot of possibilities. People have ideas. I mean, when you look at that and say, why? You could make a museum, a video store. It could be a museum, but it could also, you could give tours and you could use it like a brick and mortar store. You could sell movies and cell phones and all that, but the backdrop could be the video store. You know, have it set up, but instead of videos, you're doing other things. Now, you know, a phone store would be good. You know, you could have a lot of things. See, the brick and mortar stores now, you know, they're not doing that great because of all the online shopping. You know? Well, I thought of a lot of ideas, but I don't know if it would be like I was even thinking of a video store wax museum. You know, make everything out of wax. You know, look like it, and then you can have other figures of people, prominent people in the day. And then you could have tours of it, and you could still sell things. You could still have stores, you know, inside there. And you could actually walk through, you would see the stores, and you would be able to get the tour of the wax museum. It could be, money could be made. I mean, you need an investment to do it. Once it's done, it could be kind of neat, you know. Not the video store wax museum. Find the right location. It doesn't have to be that big. And I have two models to go by, that big store, and I also had the little store, the smaller one that you could use to do the counter and do everything in wax. And you have tours. You could have, say you had 10 tours a day, $5 a person. Say you had 10 people on each tour. You could make a few $100s a day easily. Say you were open 7 days a week, you could figure it out how much money you could take in. Of course, you have overhead and all. Mostly rental. I mean, the rental of the building or whatever, the shop that you were going to use to do it. I mean, it's something to think about, something unusual. But again, it requires an investment, you know. I'm sure tours of something like that, people would be interested. You could sell snacks and everything. You could have the TVs running around. You could have advertisements playing. Money could be made from that. A lot can be done, you know, with the footage. It all comes back to this footage again. Uh-oh. I put the camera there up, straighten that up. But again, and then some of this footage could also be played inside. Someone out there is interested in doing a project. Think about it. You think you're going to be home a while now? Maybe you are in some kind of, maybe you are a cameraman or something that you're familiar with video and all. You could do it, I'm sure. I can't do it by myself. I can do this like I'm doing, yeah. How you doing there, folks? But again, that's why I'm doing all this now. I might be interested in doing it, and it's easy to do. If I find one person, I'm not going to. If anybody else does, I'll tell them, look, I can't have a conflict of interest. Look at that. How you doing out there, folks? Yes, it's me. In USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays. Yeah, I mean, all that can be taken out. You can see that. The sound and all doesn't matter. You know, I'm talking over it. I took the sound off. If I had music playing or something like that, yeah, my actual voice and all that. But anybody, you look at it, think about it. I mean, I know people are going to view it. I know how many views I get on some things that I do. So if just one person might be an opportunity. You don't have to really give me anything, actually. You know, unless you want to buy everything, you want to buy all the footage, just buy everything, the exclusive rights, and I just make a deal and say that's it. I don't get no part of nothing. Whatever you make, whatever you do is all yours. If you got good ideas for it, you can have it. Now, if we want to stay partners, we could just split everything. If you would put out any money or your time, keep track of it. And if we make a deal, you could take all that out first, and then we could split the difference. Okay, say you find somebody, you know, that want to do it, you know. Look at this. Hey, how you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Yeah, so again, somebody out there might be wanting to find a project to do. It's different. Video store project. If you could take some of this footage like I have, maybe without going through all those tapes. I mean, I have a lot posted. I still have more that's on DVD. I could send you the DVDs, and you could take those DVDs and do something. But online, look at that. People still walking around, huh? That's at 1 o'clock in the morning, huh? They asked me when they went by, and I told them I'm making a commercial for the store. Oh, that's nice. There's people out there. I mean, there's traffic and all, but I wouldn't recommend doing it now. So again, if anybody's interested, well, I ain't got nothing to really lose. I'm willing to give you the rights to it. You know, it's this. Look at this. Yeah, how you doing there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays. See, this also proves that I'm the owner of the footage, because I'm in the footage, so a lot of it. So again, if anybody wants to try something, because once I hear from anybody, that's it. If the person wants to work on it, I probably won't take anybody else. Of course, I only need one person. If anybody wants to, you know, try it out, you could just take the footage that I have posted already. There's a lot of it. This isn't just something I'm just doing now. But there's a lot of footage that I have that's already out there. Take that footage. Maybe you can take it right off the computer and make something up. And if you can get a company interested, maybe to do a documentary, if you make the deal, we're going to split everything 50-50. So if it's your part of this partnership, is to put your part would be to make a deal, really. I'm giving all this footage and all, and what you're doing is you're finding to get somebody that might want to do the documentary. If they want to do a documentary, of course, if they give a cash advance, and you know, it doesn't have to be that much, we split that, and then after that we can have a kind of royalty contract. And we could probably split it 3 ways. Those companies that will do all that, they'll set it up. It's not that involved, really, because it can be written, you know, one of us can write it up. I could write it up. It can be done online and all, with an email and all. Depends. Any big company, there's a lot of them now. You know, Netflix and what, Amazon and Google and all these companies. Everybody's getting into the video business as far as movies and all. Well, they might be interested in doing it. They would have exclusive rights to it. You know, they'd be the only one that have it. It's a mom and pop video store. There's also, well, any company out there. It can be done. Well, we know you can do it based on the footage. You can make something up. You can make a sample and maybe someone's interested in it. Oh yeah, PBS. They do a lot of documentaries, and they like to get something that nobody has because they're going to make on it, pretty good. Because I think they had one, the things that weren't there anymore, and then they had the part two, the things that aren't there anymore, part two. Now this is one of the things that aren't there anymore. Basically, you might find a video store in Kalamazoo, but there's not too many around. Very few. In some private store somewhere. So PBS, well, they might be interested. They could take all that footage. And they don't have all the equipment and all, that, the studios and all. And they could probably make a really good documentary. We probably wouldn't even know it. Because I'm in a lot of the scenes, but I don't have to be in the scenes. There's so much footage like this that I'm showing now. You saw me a little bit, but not that much. They would have enough. I mean, I know it could be a production. Like I said, at PBS, if someone wants to gotta contact it. You could do it on your own, contact somebody, and if you get interest in it, well, let me know, and we can work it out, We can make a sale, for the exclusive rights to it. We're going to sell. What we're selling is the rights to the mom and pop video store footage. So I'm willing to give that up, my rights. But, everything has a price, a reasonable price. Because figuring if someone gets this and they make a production and it really does good, they can be making a lot of money off of it. Might even make it into a movie, who knows? And we would, we're partners, say we would be out, then we would get nothing. So I don't know if it's good to get some money now and not, nothing later, or not much now and money later. I'd say I'd make a deal. It would be no conflict of interest, because if we just sell it outright and make a deal, that's why I'm asking for somebody to want to do it. I'm giving you the opportunity to make some money on a good deal, some kind of business. If you can, all you have to do is find somebody that wants to make a documentary, but they want to, they want exclusive rights. They don't want us to be involved at all. They want to pay the money up front, and then it's all theirs. Because there's a lot of footage. That's what they're buying, They can use that footage, and with the right, narration and music and all, they can make it into something. Because it shows the actual footage that happened when it did. Because the video store business is a part of history, really, with all the way the technology is and all. Because back then, not that long ago, and we had a computer in the store, but that's all it was. It's just a computer for that store, and that wasn't connected to nothing. They were connected to each other, their terminals. So that's back when everything was started. That's before cable when this started. Oh, the cable came in and all, then the DVDs and all that. Well, the VCRs first. Then DVDs, DVD players. Then the cable is what knocked it out. The video store business was the cable. As I remember. I used to see advertisements, no more trips to the video store, right? Yep. I knew it happened. I lasted long after that. A few years after that, but then I had no more trips to the video store either. Yeah, how you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Happy holidays. I'll see you at the movies. Yeah, I just did that now because I'm doing the narration, but just to show you. See, I could do the narration because I lived it and I know all about it. But someone else, they have to make a script and, figure it out. Now, this mom and pop video store, we were pay on return. Mostly all the video stores where you pay up front. But we were pay on return, so we were different. So that was one of the things about this particular store. Yeah, people always didn't think they could get the movies because of that. Again, how you doing out there, folks? Remember, here at USA Video, we always put you first. Bye. Yeah, people thought because we weren't one of the big chains that they couldn't get the movies. And I said, well, you have a better chance to get movies from us because remember, it's overnight rental. The other stores, they're having for 3 and 5 days. They have a lot of copies, yeah. But in this store, you could get it. So, people, used to see it because you couldn't tell how many copies. Because the box is on the shelf when the movie's there. So once it's rented, they don't know how many copies we have. We did have a lot of copies. Some movies, depending. The movies were costing $60, $70 for one movie in the beginning there on the new releases. So of course we want to rent them as much as possible, and then we still could sell them. Still I'm selling a lot of them. We can't keep 10 copies, 15 copies. We can't keep that many copies in stock. After the new releases and the new ones keep coming out, and when it becomes a stock film, we start selling a lot of movies. So it was a whole bunch of things. I mean, it's hard to believe the price of the movies. Then there would be sell-through movies where that'd only be like $19.95 because they were selling them in the stores, like Disney movies and stuff. We would get a lot more copies of those. And that was the best deal for us. Then you get 20 copies or something, and then still sell it afterward. After the stop being a new release. So yeah, there's a lot of aspects of that business that went on back in the day. A lot of people now, anybody that's over 20 years old probably never even been in a video store. They don't even know anything about it, but they know about computers and all, and about phones and all. Yeah, they know all about that. I don't know how much more here, but again, it's a good place to kind of end this. So if anybody's interested in, doing a documentary or making a deal with somebody, you can contact me. I'm going to give you my email address. It's frankleeper46@gmail.com. I'll spell it out for you. FRANKLEEPER 46@gmail.com. Yeah, you could drop me a line, there's no any questions or anything about it. You can go ahead on your own and see if you can find anybody interested, and if you could make a deal, then just contact me. If nobody else has, fine. I'll be willing to give all the footage and all that I have. I don't need it now. And they can do what they want with it. It might be a good investment for somebody. Like I said, I know PBS, if you could get to the right person, and they're gonna like the idea, I think, because they know if they had that, how people make the pledges and all, and they would give them the movie. And they have to find a way to take this footage and make it interesting. I know if you got somebody like a Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, if they did the narration, that would add a little bit to it. Somebody that's a famous voice, as you might call it. You know how they have voiceovers and all those. Who knows? Maybe Walt Disney might be interested in it. Maybe they could make it into a cartoon. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I need somebody out there that might have ideas. And maybe they can make a deal. And if you can, figure it out. How much money? We're going to split it 50-50. I don't know I don't even know what you would charge for something like this. That's where I need somebody out there, to the right person, that's some kind of a techie, someone that has connections with different people in the business now, and so much with this computer, everything's on computer. It can be done on computer. Maybe an audio book. It could be maybe you could even do using this footage. Maybe write the story, do a novel about the video store business. This could be part of it. Take all the other big stores and all, and take and write it up and make it into a book. Mom and Pop Video Store. Somebody wants to be a writer, maybe you could do that, and you can take this footage, and if you look at the footage, well, that can tell you a lot, because it is dated, and it can show how it's set up, and the way this particular store is a good example of that for a mom and pop. because it wasn't affiliated with any big company, and it was done different, with this pay on return, overnight rental. Not too many stores did that. I know because I was in the business all them years. They were trying to get all the money up front that they could get. Oh, you might end up paying $5 a rental, but you were going to get 3 days, 5 days. They got in trouble for a lot of that, as people would keeping the movies, and they would end up charging them for it. I think they were getting in trouble for doing that. They had to stop doing that. Remember, they have to worry about a drop-off box. The next day you got to go through all the movies, and people already paid, and some people are going to be late. They're going to keep it longer. You're going to have all that to deal with. See, we did it because we like having the movies back, quick. Rent them again. Just keep the money. We always have money coming in. The more rentals we could get, So I think I did pretty good here so far. That's, pretty much say what I want to say about this. Again, you can see how it was back in the day. Now we had all the boxes on the shelf there. See it? Yeah, it wasn't bad, Yeah, I'm in the mirror there. See it? Kind of waving. I think that's a good time to say goodbye. I'm waving goodbye there, huh? I started this off. I don't know what I was going to do. I don't know how it's going to come out, but again, if anybody's interested, like I said, I'm giving you an opportunity. And people should know me by now, because I've been on YouTube and Twitter quite a bit the last few months, last year, and now this year with all the things I do. I have different things. There I am again, huh? I guess I'm trying to tell myself, it's time to cut this off, huh? Cut it off, Frank, huh? You said enough. If nobody's interested by now, they're never going to be interested. Okay, so again, I want to thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. If anybody's interested, just let me know. Bye for now.